I love the story
Yeah.
that people don't necessarily love it when it's the middle of a work day and they see you coming, because you don't want people there. You want them finding work here.
Yes.
Eventually you want them setting up their own lives. It's a great it's a great stable house or community you've built for them, but at a certain point you want them to sprout their own wings, right?
Absolutely. They have to buy into it, and really, once they do that and they get a taste of success, it's amazing, because then the little things mean so much to them. You know, I can meet them on the street and they say, gee, I'm really tired, Sister Tesa, but I worked hard today and I feel good about it. And I say, that's exactly what it is. Now you can have a well-deserved rest at night, eat, enjoy your children, and then get up the next day and do the same thing. You know, it's the repetition, and you know, life can be repetition and monotonous for everyone, but in the end, there's a sense of fulfillment.
Well, if you ever go to the sister's office, you'll see a few things. You'll see cats, and you'll also see pictures on the walls and pictures of kids.
Yes.
Everyone I asked you about, you said that one got a full ride to UNC. That one's going to Fordham. Many times the first children in their families that got through college, and you just imagine the stories and the adversity, not just their moms had to go through, but the kids themselves, and that they come out on the other end of it amazing. I mean, that in itself is a miracle.
It is, but the mothers are so much more committed to the value of education and structure once they get it for themselves, and then their children really, they make them step in line.
You've shed tears of joy. You've also cried some when things didn't work out, but overwhelmingly, if you look at the numbers, it has. Now, I've had this conversation with a lot of folks. We work with Hudson Link, which works to educate inmates behind bars, nonprofit, private donations, and all the rest, but still, some people say, you know what? They had their shot. Why spend time, let alone effort, throwing good money after bad? Talk about why you believe and have seen the power of redemption, and why these aren't people who, through their own fault and their own admission, screwed up, but we ought to basically wash our hands of them. Why should we care?
Well, I don't think there's anybody out there who can say, use your word, screwed up. We all mess up at times. We all make poor choices, but for the women that I work with, they've made a choice that brought them into the criminal justice system. Much of that is driven by addiction. And so they didn't get we have to look back and say, maybe we can do it a different way and give them more help on the outside so that they don't have to go to prison. But that being said, and we can't change those systems now, they're human beings. They're people and women and men who deserve the right to rebuild a life. Once they acknowledge the fault, you don't punish people forever, and that's the problem, that some of our criminal justice system, we're looking at it as a punitive thing. There is a redemptive issue here. There is a thing of rehabilitation, getting back on your feet, admitting you make a mistake, and then doors should open to give you the opportunity to do that. I mean, that's what I believe in my heart and soul. That's what I see in the lives of the women I serve, that it can be done and it should be done. This is an investment in human beings and their children.
I'll only say this much, take it for whatever it's worth here. If you walk in and you not only see the people, but you see this isn't a free ride here. You got to earn your keep. You got to keep your nose clean. You got to try. And for some people who have been dealt the worst hand, to come out on the other side of it with a winning hand is just really, without exaggeration, to me, a miracle of the human spirit. Finally, if people want to help, and certainly you're not above getting some help here. They can do it in a few ways, right? Whether it's contribution, volunteerism here, or either just gifts, right?
Our Children stands as a testimony to people's goodness from all over the city, the state, the nation at this point in time, and they can do it certainly by money. We need money to continue to grow and to improve what we do and do it better and do more of it. Volunteer services, we have all of our programs have volunteers helping out, from daycare to thrift shops to working women program, and then also stuff. We have 3 thrift shops, and we're always in need of people's handouts or furniture or those types of things. And we also need people's prayers to keep us going, and to pray for the women who really struggle each day to do it right.
Well, like I said, if you want to know a story or you want to know something where you wonder, well, will I get a return on investment. This program, as much as any I've ever seen, does it. Sister, thanks so much. And the folks are about to see of Anita Pinckney and her story, like so many. You want to talk about beating odds, you're going to see it for yourself. Sister, thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for coming to Our Children. And I invite all people to come and see. Good words. Thank you very much. God bless. Thanks, Richard.
Now, let's hear firsthand from a woman who's benefiting from Sister Tesa's innovative mission.
Well, I met her in 2008 in Bedford Hills Correctional Facility before I had my son. I was getting interviewed by her and Sister Barbara. I had heard a lot about Our Children. At first, I wasn't really too receptive about Our Children. You know, you hear different things like, and I said, well, what kind of place is that? You know, but at the time, I needed a change. So I got interviewed and I got accepted. And I came, and it was a crazy experience when I first got here, because when you hear about nuns, you think of the hammocks and everything. And I mean, like, nobody wears hammocks here. And I was like, oh my God, what kind of place did I come to? But it was a beautiful experience. I mean, I came to this beautiful house. I have my own room. I mean, my son had everything, you know. And it's funny because I'm a recovering addict. I've been clean for 3 years and 8 months now. Yay. And when I was out there, you know, doing what I do, living a chaotic life, you don't really think that there's people that genuinely care. You know, like a woman like Sister Tesa, like, she don't even know you from a can of paint. And she just welcomes you with open arms. And she's seen the process that I was going through on the job interviews, several job interviews. But then one day I came in, she said, Vanita, I need to speak to you. And she said, in my office. And I was like, oh, I didn't do anything, you know. Oh my God, you know. And when I stepped into her office, it was like 6 other nuns. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And she offered me a job here. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, I want you to come and be a part of Our Children as our team. And I feel that she gave me this job here, being house manager at my mother's house. Not only that, I lived here, I lived at Astoria. I have the experience of what other women have been through that come here. You know, so I think that, like, overall, in general, with that alone, I think that's why she gave me the job. And not only because, you know, she sees the potential in me, but I love my job. I love working here. You know, people say, oh, what's that saying? Better late than never. And that's one thing I'm grateful for. That my daughter did, you know, come out of that rut that she was in. You know, I mean, I can't change the past, and I told her that. You know, I can't change the past, but the point is that I'm here now.
Now, to donate or to learn more about Our Children's programs, Thrift Shops, volunteer opportunities, please go to the website www.ourchildren.org. Up next, a look in the past at a case that rocked the region when 4 men said they were pulled into a terror plot by the FBI. We'll have a look at the Newburgh sting and introduce you to one of the directors behind this new HBO documentary when we return. And Michelle Mayor Noam Bramson, he'll join RFL to discuss controversy surrounding a proposed group home for young men who are living with autism. What he says he didn't do that he now wishes he did.